There was a delegation of folks from the area going up to the wedding on a bus, and I was just one of the crowd, one of the wedding guests. Me in my suit, my shoes polished nearly off of me, and hung over like you would not believe. I had been up the night before till 5 or more, swelling stuff and staring at the fireplace. And we were all on the bus at 9. And the chatter was, well, why didn't she come home to get married? And me, sick as a dog, the smell of Brill cream coming off all the fellas, sitting in the church in Phipsborough, looking at all our lovely nurse friends and their cop boyfriends. She was marrying a cop, huge fella, shoulders like a big gorilla. Anyway, they were coming down the aisle after, and I caught her eye and gave her the cheesiest little grin. A little grin that said, enjoy your big gorilla. The future's all ahead of me. And she just looked at me like I was just another wedding guest. And that was that. And the future was ahead of me. Years and years of it. I could feel it coming. All the things you have to face on your own, all by yourself. And you bear it because you're showing everyone what a big fella you are. But I left that church like a little boy. And I just walked away. I couldn't go to the reception. I just kept walking. There was a light rain, and I just kept walking. And I ended up in town, and it was a dark day, like there was a roof over the city. I ended up in this labyrinth of streets, and I had nothing doing, so I ducked into a little bar, a little dark place. There were only a couple others there, and a business-like bartender, and I put away a couple of pints and a couple of shots, and I just sat there, staring at the dirty wooden bar. And the bartender asked me if I was all right. Simple question. I said I was. And he said, I'll make you a sandwich. And I said, okay. And I nearly started to cry. Because he was someone who just... And I watched him. He took 2 big slices off a fresh loaf, and he buttered it completely, spreading it all over. I'll never forget it. And then he sliced some cheese and some cooked ham and an onion out of a jar, and he put it on a plate, and he sliced it down the middle. And here was someone doing this for me and putting it down in front of me. Get that down you now, he said. Then he folded up his newspaper and he put on his jacket and he went off on break, and then there was another bartender there. And I took this sandwich up and I could barely swallow it because of the lump in my throat. But I ate it all down because someone I didn't know had done this for me. Such a small thing, but it was a huge thing in my condition. It fortified me like no meal I've ever had in my life. And I went to the reception, and I was properly ashamed of myself. There was a humility that I've tried to find since. But goodness fades, and it's just easier to be a contrary asshole. Back in the garage, spinning small jobs out all day, taking hours to fix a flat, stops you from thinking about what could have been and what you should have done. It's like looking away, like I did at the reception. You should only catch someone's eye for the right reason. And I'll tell you, there's not a morning I don't wake up with her name in the room.